Hello everyone, this is Greg, American in Thailand. Primarily going to talk to you today about Americans that are filing for Social Security benefits while they live in a Southeast Asian country, mine being Thailand, of course, and my phone interview that I had yesterday. And the very first question that the interviewer asked me that you do not want to get wrong. Stay tuned for that. Well, taking a look at me, you can guess, yeah, that guy's a baby boomer. And yes, I am. I was born in 1959. A lot of us are retiring. About 10,000 Americans a day are hitting retirement age. And with that happening and a diminished workforce that's also happening in the United States, that has happened for a while, Social Security is in a bit of trouble. They say it might be insolvent within 9 years, that in 2035, we could be facing a 25% reduction in benefits, which is a lot nicer to hear than a 100% reduction in benefits. I don't know how to fix that, but I've done a few budgets in my time. I'm just thinking, well, if you do have access to billions and billions of dollars at your disposal, maybe not passing it out to other countries is a good start. You know, just kind of hold on to the money for a while. Okay, maybe we can try that. Okay, but what do I know? Well, here's what I do know. There's a lot of tools that I used at my disposal to help me get ready for this that I've been using for quite a while. One of them is the Quicken program. I've been using this for over 20 years, and it just tracks everything that I spend, everything that comes in, everything that goes out, and you can put it all into any kind of category. You can name the category so you can figure out what's happening. And of course, we've been doing this in Thailand to see how much money we're spending, which is great to have. You definitely need this. Also, another tool is if you are not already signed in to the government's Social Security website, please do this. If you're, I don't know, years away or even decades away from retiring, get into the system, put in your Social Security number and all the information they need. And once you're in, it has a lot of great tools for you. First of all, information on Social Security. And then the two main tools is the earnings report that shows you everything you've ever made your entire working career. And then my favorite, the benefits calculator. It starts at age 62, which is early retirement. It goes all the way up to age 70, which is late retirement, or full benefits retirement, that is. And it's got a slider at the bottom, and as you slide it, you can see how much your benefits increase month by month, year by year, and how much you can anticipate on getting when you retire. So if you don't know what's coming, it's really hard to prepare. We had to kind of know what we were up against before we moved here. Could we do it? I decided to not take my money directly when I turned 62. I decided to wait for reasons of my own. Now that I think about it, I wish I had, filed earlier, but it is what it is, and here we go. There's also one more adjustment that happens, and that is the COLA adjustment, the cost of living adjustment, which was 3.2% for this last year. Here are some totals for the last few years. You can see those two higher ones are the COVID years. So that also calculates into it as well. So I waited till January of this year to start my application, so I definitely knew the COLA adjustment would be there. First thing to do is apply for your phone interview. Now, if you're in Southeast Asia, the surrounding areas, you are probably dealing with the United States Embassy in the Philippines. So you are contacting the Social Security office in the Philippines at the embassy. You're going to the website, asking for the phone interview, and I sent that request on January the 4th. January 19th, I got a response. Due to high demand, please give us 2 months. 2 months. If you don't hear from us in 2 months, contact us again. Well, 2 months went by. I contacted them again the same way, phone interview. I put in the message, okay, I'm on day 60. Please tell me how to proceed. I get a response, I think 3 days later, which was great. Please give us another month. All right, awesome. So I wait till April 20th. Same thing. Hey, I'm on day 90. Now what happens? 15 days later, on I believe March 4th or 5th, I received a notice that I had my phone interview. And it was going to be 6.5 weeks later from this notice on June 18th. Pretty exciting, all right? So I had my phone interview. Right after I solidified my phone interview, I went back into the Philippines website and applied for my benefits this time, putting in my name, my wife's name, all our Social Security numbers. and of course the most important, my banking information with all the routing numbers, and I'm still holding an American bank account, which I highly recommend you do. They can send it to a foreign bank account. Just a little bit more difficult, I believe. Can't really speak on that process since I'm not doing it that way. And then I did that. So that was all taken care of. So here comes my phone interview. The phone interview is scheduled for 10:05 in the morning, my time. The caller is about 25 minutes late. Consequently, the phone call will last 25 minutes. But that very first question, very important first question, you've been waiting 6 months for this moment. This is the last hoop that you have to jump through to get paid. All that money that's been coming out of your paychecks for the last 40 years of your working career, and here's your phone interview. The phone rings, you pick it up, and they ask you, is this a good time for you? Now, you might want to cover your mouth to not laugh out loud, but just simply say, then yes, this is a good time for me. You don't want to say something like, nah, I really want to wait like 3 or 4 months later. Can we do that? So moving on. Now I know they have a playbook. They're going, she's probably got a binder open or a big laminated card, and they're just doing their job. I understand. But it was quite hilarious. Phone call went great. Information, who I am, birthday, social security number, wife's name. Since I was married before, but it wasn't over 10 years, I did not have to supply any of that information. So if you've been previously married and it was over 10 years, you will have to have some information on that. So be ready for that. All right. Work history was asked quite a lot, and she even went all the way back to 1976. Did you work at J.C. Penney's in 1976? And I knew that, yes, I'd worked on the Christmas holidays when I was still in high school. So 1976, yeah, that would have been about right. And just a few other companies that I had to mention or verify, and we were good to go. It's pretty simple. Very professional lady, and the call went well. I did have one question, and that was about the a form. It's the 7162 form that's affectionately also called the proof of death letter. I guess for a long time, a lot of people that Americans that were passing away in some of the more rural parts of Southeast Asia, where possibly the officials didn't get all the right information to the embassy in a timely manner or not at all, and certain people's deaths were not reported to the American government, and the spouse just kept collecting and collecting and collecting for years on a gentleman that had passed away. So they put an end to that by sending you a letter around October that you have to send back. Very simple form. There's only 4 questions, and you mail it back to a location in Pennsylvania in the United States. Because if you don't, then by February you could see your payments lapse, and that's not good. As a lot of YouTubers have described, they don't even wait for the postal system for the letter to get there. They just print some forms. They send it in themselves around October. And one guy even said he sends maybe 3 of them a year just to be sure that they get them, because you just never know. So that's the one thing that we did clear up. I don't need to do a form this year, but very soon I will have to do that. My proof of life. And the good news at the very end was that even though this might take 1 to 4 months from now for approval, as she called it, for me to get paid, the pay will be retro all the way from January when I started the process. So even though it might take 4 months, maybe even 5 months to get my first check, everything from January till that month will be collected on the first payment. So that is my process that I went through. And your results may vary, and hopefully you did something differently. And a lot of YouTubers that I listen to actually did this before they left the United States, which is probably a good idea. There was even one YouTuber that left the Philippines and flew all the way to the United States because he felt more comfortable walking in and doing it in person. And then he later complained about the terrible customer service that was there, and he had to stay longer in a hotel. So if you want to spend $3,000 and fly to the United States and feel better, go right ahead. But online, I think, is just fine. That was my experience. If you learned something great, that's about it. We will see you soon. And 3 words for you right now is, when it comes to money, save, save, and save. All right, we'll see you later. Thanks for watching.